Given this three, I hope you are fine. Today we're to complete the hormone chapter 2, and we will finish it inshallah. We said that we have a lot of glands, endocrine and exocrine, and we're talking about the endocrine gland like parathyroid glands. We will continue these glands like pituitary gland, thyroid gland, and here the third gland, which is parathyroid gland. This parathyroid gland, its locations, it's found here in four small separated loops. Yeah, if you can see it here, I will see you now. The four separated loops. Look, they are four separated loops that near to the thyroid gland. On each side of the thyroid gland, it's called the parathyroid gland, and secretes the parathormone hormone. Parathormone hormone, and this parathormone hormone is secreted to regulate the calcium level. And when the calcium level is decreased, that means the parathormone hormone it will increase. That means they are inversely proportional to each other with the percentage of the calcium ion. When the calcium ion increase, that means the parathormone hormone decrease, and vice versa. So the parathormone hormone and calcitonin hormone here, calcitonin, you remember it? Yeah, the calcitonin hormone, which is found in the thyroid glands or secreted by thyroid glands, both of them are regulate the calcium level in the blood. So here, both of them, they can regulate the calcium level. Yes. Here we are talking about the hyper secretion of parathyroid hormone. It's called hyperparathyroidism. Hyperparathyroidism is increase the calcium level in the blood, and this increasing of the calcium level of the blood may cause increasing in the bone reabsorption, and most of the calcium that's released from the bones, it will be increase inside the bones due to the reabsorption. Many times the reabsorption of the calcium inside the most of the bones inside the blood increase, and that may cause for the bones what fragile and maybe more fragile and bending. But when I ask you why some people have fragile bones due to the increasing of the absorption of the calcium from their bones, and that lead to increasing of the calcium level inside the blood, and that due to the hypersecretion of parathormone hormone. But if we have a hypersecretion of the hypothyroidism, that means a decrease in the calcium level, and that effect on the muscle. If you remember, we said it before. The calcium is responsible for transmitting of the message to the muscle, and important for muscle contraction and relaxation. So here it will affect on the muscle contraction and relaxation. Yes, of course, and it may be cause painful of the muscle and cause muscle spasm. Of course, the fourth gland is called adrenal glands or suprarenal glands. It's emotional glands that found above each one of the kidney here, and these glands consist of two regions here: cortex or outer cortex and inner medulla. So we have adrenal glands, which found in the two parts: adrenal cortex and in the medulla. The adrenal part here is the secrete hormone, which are glucocorticoids hormone, glucocorticoids and mineral corticoids. Glucocorticoids, which are cortisone and corticosterol, both of them they regulate the sugar and they regulate the carbohydrates metabolism inside the body. So the main function of the cortex, or the hormone that secrete from the cortex, that is glucocorticoids and the mineral corticoids. Their mineral functions, the main function is secreting of glucocorticoids that regulate the carbohydrates metabolism. But the mineral corticoids, they are called aldosterone, and play important role from its name. It play important roles in what? Yeah, in the mineral balance in your body. So as it increases the absorption of salt, like sodium, potassium, that found of the absorption in the nephron, if you remember in secondary too. Yeah. So here from the cortex, also from the cortex, also secrete what? Sex hormones. You remember sex hormones? We said it before, which are testosterone, and they are called steroid hormones that made up of lipid. like testosterone, the male sex hormone, which is male sex hormone, and estrogen and progesterone, which is female sex hormone. And if any disturbance that happen these hormones or sex hormones may cause masculinization of the female, female become like act as a male, and feminization of the male, like male may act as a female. Due to the disturbance in the sex hormones and secretion of testosterone hormone for the male and the estrogen and progesterone for female. What are the hormones that secrete from the medulla? It's called adrenaline and noradrenaline. Both these hormones is actually important for the, of course, for the emergency situation like fear, fight, escape, exciting situation. So when we do any, or when you face any exciting situation or emergency situation, what happens? Here noradrenaline and adrenaline secreted, and they increase blood, increase the glucose inside the blood, and increase the rate of and the force of the heart contraction and relaxation, and also of course they increase the energy that needed, and the muscle energy that needed, and the oxygen for the muscle that needed more energy. Here the fifth gland, which is called pancreas gland, and we said this pancreas gland is a mixed gland. Why it's mixed? Because it acts as exocrine gland and endocrine glands. Why it acts as exocrine gland? Exocrine gland because it secretes what? Pancreatic juice. You remember the pancreatic juice? Yeah, this pancreatic juice is used for secreted and poured inside the duodenum, which is the first part of the small intestine, and it's important for the digestion of lipids. Yeah, here and we have endocrine gland, which is it acts as endocrine pancreas acts as endocrine gland, and it secretes hormone, which is most important hormone, which is glucagon hormone and insulin hormone. When they see the structure of the pancreas, they found the concept of Langerhans cells, and this type of Langerhans cells, which are alpha cells and beta cells. Alpha cells, they are very small in number, and they secrete glucagon hormone. And this glucagon hormone is very, very important to increase the level of glucose if the glucose level in the blood is low. Opposite to it, which secretes from beta cells and large in number, which is the insulin hormone, and that decrease the level of glucose inside your body. So insulin and the glucagon, they react together like calcitonin and the parathormone hormone to regulate the level of the calcium. But yes, and exactly here also insulin and glucagon here, they regulate the level of glucose inside your body, which is a normal level from 80 to 100 or 120. Here when we're talking about the functions of insulin, here is the insulin, one of the hormones that's created from the beta cells, and it actually decreases the glucose level in the blood. Of course, how it decreased? Do you know? Yeah, maybe through the conversion of the glucose into the glycogen inside your liver, or oxidation of glucose, and this oxidation of glucose, it may be breaking down the glucose, it's called oxidation of glucose, and that produce energy. While the persons who suffer from diabetes mellitus, that suffer from the decrease in the insulin hormone, and maybe disturbance in this hormone, or disturbance in beta cells, or disturbance also in metabolism of carbohydrates. The patient that complains from the diabetes mellitus also, it always that have a sensation of thirsty, and also have a sensation of urination, excess urination, due to the absorption of water every time. But here the glucagon, it have a very important function, which is a conversion of the glucose, which a conversion of glycogen that's stored inside the liver into glucose if the glucose level inside the blood is low. If we see here that we have hypoglycemia, that means that the blood glucose is low, alpha cells try to secrete glucagon, which affect on all in these organs, to increase the level of the blood. It go to the brain to set that to brain to increase the appetite, as appetite is decreased, and also the pancreas to increase the insulin to regulate with the glucagon, and also it go to the liver to increase the glucose production, and cause the heart to increase the heartbeat. Why the insulin not take as the tablets? Yeah, of course, insulin is a hormone and the protein is digested by gastric juice. If we're taking it as a tablet, it will be digested by the gastric juice that's found inside the stomach. So we take it as injection. Last gland here we're talking about it is a sex gland, which is called gonad gland, which is male and female gametes. Yeah, male and female gametes is called spermatozoa for male and ova for female. It's important for appearance of secondary sex characters for either male or female. Here, sex hormones for the male sex hormones is important, like the androgen hormone for the male, like testosterone and androsterone. It's important for growth of the prostate gland and seminal vesicles and appearance of the secondary sex characters for male. And the female sex hormone is called estrogen, and this estrogen is very important, which is appears the secondary sex character, and also it regulates the menstrual cycles that happen for the female. Also, we have a female sex characters, sex hormones, which is called progesterone, which increase the thickness of the during the placenta during the pregnancy, and prepare the good environment for the embryo. Okay, and also it's responsible for any changes in the mammary glands during the pregnancy. Also secrete relaxin hormone, which is important for facilitating the delivery of the baby during the delivery of it. And gastrointestinal hormones here, they are hormones that's important for regulation of the digestion inside the body. It's important for alimentary canal. That's important for the regulation of the digestive system and digestive juice that regulate the digestion of the food. Really, of course, the gastrointestinal hormone, it have a very important function, which is regulation and stimulation the alimentary canal to digest the food into small parts to let the body benefit from it. Gastrointestinal hormone, they are gastrin hormone, which secrete from the stomach, and that is it activated the gastric juice to work inside the stomach and digest protein. While the secretin and cytokinin, they are enzymes secreted from the intestinal wall, from the small intestine, to stimulate the pancreatic juice to do its function. All of that to do their function to be digested, to help in digestion and help to the food to be digested into small parts. This is the last end of the hormones. I hope you are fine. Study this part well. I hope you see you soon, inshallah. Goodbye.